I'm Elena Dawson, 30 years old, former Marine Intelligence Captain. Home from 8 years of sand-colored days and bone-cold nights in Afghanistan. If you think the enemy always wears a different uniform, wait till you see what I found in my childhood living room. Camera tight on my face, breath smokes in the Virginia winter air. Hit that like button if betrayal has ever punched you in the gut, and toss a comment below because tonight we're gut-checking the meaning of family. The tires of my rented Jeep crunch over fresh sleet as I pull through the wrought iron gates of the Dawson estate. Georgian brick, ivory columns, windows glowing buttery gold. Home should feel warm. Instead, every beam seems to whisper, "You don't belong here anymore." I park beneath the bare oak where Dad taught me to climb before I could recite the pledge. The branches scratch the roof like fingernails in omen. Maybe just the wind. I thumb the cool metal of the compass hanging from my neck. It's standard Marine issue, but I had Cobble's coordinates engraved on the lid after our final extraction. Whenever panic clawed at 0300, I'd flip it open, let the needle settle, remind myself there was still a north somewhere. Tonight the compass jitters. So do I. Inside, the foyer smells of lemon wax and old money. Portraits of dead Dawsons stare down white collars. Proud jawlines. Men who never knew a firefight. I holster my duffel at the base of the staircase and wipe melting sleet off my field jacket. "Captain on deck," I mutter, half joking, half longing for the barked response of my unit. No bark comes, only high heels, clicking marble. "Mother." Meredith Dawson glides in wearing funeral black, though no one's died in months. Pearl earrings, spine like rebar. She scans me top to boot. "Elena, you're earlier than expected." Translation: I hoped you wouldn't show at all. I salute childish reflex, drop it just as fast. "Good to see you too." Mom, her smile is all diplomacy. "Refresh yourself. Caleb and Riley are in the parlor. We're opening a celebratory vintage. Celebratory Dad's estate is still in probate. There shouldn't be anything to celebrate yet unless... No, don't borrow trouble. Dawson." I follow the flicker of firelight toward the parlor. The housekeeper, Mrs. Ortiz. Small, steel-haired, shoulders shaped by decades of quiet service, passes me carrying a silver tray of crystal goblets. For a beat, her eyes meet mine. Something like warning flares behind them. Then she's gone. Like the compass needle twitching, I think. My boots pause at the threshold. Voices drift through the half-open doors, familiar. Intimate. Too intimate. Riley, my baby sister, laughs with the gilded bell tone she practiced at prep school, and Caleb said that clause benefits the survivor. So, technically I could. A masculine chuckle. "Caleb Miller, my fiancé, the man who mailed love letters to Helmand like clockwork. Only if your attorney signs off," he replies. Warm, protective, the same voice that swore he'd wait for me. A fresh log pops in the fireplace. I push the door an inch wider. Riley perches on the edge of Dad's antique desk, legs crossed, shoeless bare, painted toes swinging. Caleb stands close enough to read the date on her ankle bracelet. A bottle of Chateau Lafite breathes on the blotter. 2 goblets sit empty. My throat turns to chalk. My compass thumps against my sternum as if trying to warn me louder. Caleb lifts the bottle to pour. Riley leans forward, palm grazing his wrist. Her sleeve rides up, revealing a tiny medical vial tucked in her fist. Clear liquid. A sedative. If field experience hasn't failed me. Flash. PTSD? No. This is present, real. Her thumb flicks the vial's cap. She tilts it, letting 2 drops slip into Caleb's glass before he notices. His back blocks the main door. But I'm alone at the side entrance. They can't see me. Shock clamps my lungs. This is not war, yet I know a covert act when I see one. Hook achieved, maybe, but weight proof matters. I pull my phone, switch to video, record through the gap, hand steady as on recon missions. Riley's voice lilts to new beginnings, Big brother-in-law. Caleb clinks glasses. Unaware. Swallows. If betrayal were audible, it would sound like that single swallow echoing wood paneling. I exhale fog on the lens and back into the hallway before my heart jackhammers out of my chest rig. Like, comment, subscribe, whispers the sarcastic part of my brain. This family's about to go viral. Halfway to the foyer, Mrs. Ortiz steps from the shadows, gripping the serving tray so tight her knuckles blanch. Under the cloche, the crystal goblets rattle. She speaks Spanish so soft I almost miss it. No confíes en ellos, don't trust them. I whisper back. ¿Por qué? But Meredith's heels click close, and Ortiz scurries off. I retreat to Dad's study, the only room Mother never redecorated. Dust motes swirl in lamplight. The mahogany desk still smells like his cigars. I pace, adrenaline crackling. Assess the threat. Form a plan. Caleb's drugged. Riley's complicit. Mother likely orchestrating. Motive inheritance. Control both. My gaze lands on the antique safe set into the wall. Combination lock Dad once let me practice on for problem-solving skills. Hands almost move on their own. 2418, the date he met Mom. Silly romantic. The tumblers click. Inside, financial ledgers, old service revolver unloaded, and a slim, battered external hard drive. Dad used it for backups. A post-it flutters from its casing. Elena, for your eyes only. Trust Ortiz. The handwriting is his. My pulse ricochets. Why hide a drive for me? Why send that warning beyond the grave? I pocket the drive, lock the safe, slide the painting back. Steps approach the heavier, male stride of someone agitated. The study door opens. Caleb staggers in, pupils blown, tie crooked. He wavers against the bookshelf. A tongue thick, eyelids fighting gravity. I catch him before he face plants. Veterans Affairs pamphlets warned me what benzodiazepines do. This matches. Caleb, look at me. What did Riley give you? She said. Vitamin tincture. His words slur. Said I seemed tense. Wanted me calm. Paperwork. Even drugged. The lawyer in him worries paperwork. I sit him in Dad's leather chair. Tuck a throw around his shoulders. He shivers, glassy gaze on mine, then drifts out. The unfairness slams into me harder than an IED fight overseas. Come home to this. I lift my phone, replay the clip. Clear as day, Riley spiking the wine. Meredith's silhouette nodding approval through the glass door behind them. Didn't notice earlier. I jab record again, this time pointing the camera at myself. YouTube, meet my reality. My voice shakes with fury and frost. My own blood just drugged the man I left 2 lungs of dust overseas for. If you've ever doubted yourself, if society's called you broken because of PTSD, stick around. We're about to rewrite the definition of unstable. I flip the compass. The needle quivers, then stabilizes due north, symbol of order in chaos. My hand steadies with it. Plan forming. Grab Ortiz. Secure more evidence. Get Caleb medical help. And don't let Mom spin this before I do. A soft chime from the hallway front door opening. Closing. Laughter. Riley's voice floating. Mom. Give it 20 minutes. He'll sign anything. They're coming. I pocket the hard drive. Kiss Caleb's forehead. Warrior's promise, kill the study light. And slip out the back onto the snow-slick terrace. The night air knifes through my jacket, yet feels kinder than the heat inside. From the lawn's edge, I see my reflection in the French door's frost-rimmed hair. Eyes blazing. The mansion behind looks like a beautiful cage. Not for long. Hit subscribe. I hiss into the dark, because the first shot of this war just fired. A branch snaps somewhere deeper in the garden footsteps. The spotlight over the stables flicks on, flooding the yard. Silhouetted against the glare stands Meredith, phone to ear, scanning the grounds as if she already knows I'm gone. I step backward into deeper shadow. She lifts her free hand, holds up my compass, dangled by its chain. How did she? Her lips move. Maybe she says my name. Maybe she curses it. The sight of that compass in her manicured fingers is a bullet to the gut. My symbol, in enemy hands. The video feed cuts on my gasp, leaving viewers staring into blackness as the compass swings like a pendulum, counting down to whatever comes next. My breath fogs against the frosted windshield as dawn bleeds pink over the pastures. I spent the night parked outside a 24-hour urgent care clinic while Caleb slept off whatever Riley dosed him with. He's snoring softly in the back seat now, IV bandage bright against his wrist. Doctors confirmed mild benzodiazepine intoxication, no permanent harm. Probably an accidental mix-up. They said, right. And I'm the Queen of England. I start the engine, letting the heat hum. The compass Meredith dangled like bait is gone. She must have pocketed it before I slipped away. Without it, the Jeep feels rudderless. But the external drive in my coat gives a reassuring weight. Dad wanted me to have it. That means something. Cut to vlog cam, dash mounted. Morning crew. Betrayal update fiancé. Still breathing. Enemy forces. Regrouping. We're heading back to Dawson Manor for the family memorial brunch. If mother's serving mimosa lies, we'll drink them on camera. I kill the recording before Caleb stirs. He blinks at the February light. Confusion clouding brown eyes, usually sharp enough to carve legal briefs. Did we drive somewhere? You had a dizzy spell. I got you checked out. He rubs his temples. Everything feels slow. That'll pass. I don't mention the Vial. Not yet. The memorial brunch. The estate is already buzzing caterers, unloading copper chafers. Valets in fleece gloves jogging to the porte cochere. A banner over the porch reads, Richard Dawson Legacy Initiative. Meredith never wastes an ounce of grief without monetizing it. Inside the ballroom, Richmond's power elite graze like well-tailored cattle. They see my uniform-issue jacket and instinctively clear space, as if PTSD might be contagious. Over the string quartet, I catch snippets. Poor Meredith, unfortunate eldest daughter, combat stress. You know. Riley greets us at the archway, dressed in white as though purity were an accessory. She hugs Caleb first, lingering. To me, she offers air kisses and a pat on the shoulder like I'm an aging aunt. You look resilient, she says, voice syrupy, war-tested. I correct. Nice bracelet. Matches your moral compass. Her smile flickers but holds. Meredith calls for attention with a gentle tap-tap of silver on crystal. Friends, in honor of Richard. We'll soon hear the updated provisions he thoughtfully prepared for the stewardship of Dawson Holdings. Updated. My pulse kicks. Mother gestures to a slim man beside her, Mr. Klein, the estate attorney, face expressionless behind tiny spectacles. Caleb leans toward me. Whisper groggy. I don't remember revising anything last quarter. Your dad's trust should remain intact. Should. I echo. Klein opens a leather folio. As executor, I confirm a revised document dated August 12, 2023, superseding the 2018 will on file. Gasps ripple like dropped stones. He continues. Unemotional primary residence, vineyards, and majority stock pass to Riley Dawson. A conditional stipend, emphasis on conditional, is allotted to Elena. Contingent upon stable mental health certification. My ears ring. Heat climbs my spine. Guests sip mimosas with the guilty fascination of bystanders at a car crash. Riley bows her head in manufactured humility. Meredith's hand rests on Riley's shoulder, mother lion pride. Caleb's jaw hangs open. Klein folds the folio. Questions may be directed to Mrs. Dawson's counsel. I raise mine first. Yes. How does a man who died in November sign an addendum in August when he was already bedridden and barely coherent? Klein blinks. Your father's signature was notarized. By whom? Before he can speak, Meredith intercepts. Elena, this isn't the time for interrogation. Everyone is mourning. Mourning or cashing in. My voice cuts louder than the quartet. Heads swivel. Anxiety crackles in the chandelier light. Meredith's smile freezes. We'll discuss privately. I nod. Let's... Private. Like a knife fight. She leads me to Dad's old smoking lounge leather. Brass. And the faint scent of Latakia tobacco. Riley trails, barricading the door. Meredith locks it. Subtle. I simply fulfilled your father's final wishes. Mother begins, sliding into a wingback. Under sedation, I snap. Because he could barely speak last summer. He dictated clearly. Perhaps you were too busy chasing desert ghosts to answer his calls. Riley pretends sympathy. We tried to reach you, Elle. You reached Caleb well enough. I flick my gaze at her wrist, no vial now. But the memory glints. Mother steeples manicured fingers. Richard worried about your episodes. The VA's own assessments say you struggle with impulse regulation. This protective structure ensures family assets remain safe. Protective structure. She makes me sound like a cracked dam. I plant both hands on the mahogany desk. Here's what's going to happen. You'll provide the original 2018 document for comparison. I'll have a forensic specialist examine Dad's last signature. And if I find the slightest inconsistency, you'll do what Sue, your own mother, in open court. Meredith almost laughs. Darling, reputations crumble faster than mortar. The press adores a crazy vet story. That word jolts fear and rage. Moments from Kabul flash dust. Blood. The metallic taste of adrenaline. I fight to keep my voice level. If you weaponize my service, I'll weaponize the truth. Riley yawns theatrically. Elle, maybe rest. You look unwell. She uses the same tone medics used on shell-shocked newbies. I straighten, shoulders square, letting 8 years of command bleed through. This isn't over. Mother rises. For your sake. I hope it is. An ally in the shadows. I exit into the corridor. Lungs burning. People avoid eye contact. Rumor travels at Wi-Fi speed. I head for the kitchens. Sanctuary of stainless steel and honest labor. Mrs. Ortiz stands at the sink, wrists deep in suds, humming an old ranchera tune. When she sees me, the melody dies. I'm sorry about the commotion. Señora, she whispers, commotion's an appetizer. Main course is coming. I lower my voice. You cleaned the parlor last night. Did you find an army compass? She glances toward the swinging door, lowers her own tone. Madam took it to her bedroom. Figures. And the safe, did anyone open it recently? Her eyes widen a fraction. I saw Mr. Klein leave that room, with a set of blue folders. Klein has access. Another puzzle piece clicks. I tap my coat pocket. I have something Dad left me. She nods once. Guard it. People will do cruel things for paper money. People already did. I think. Ortiz. Why help me? Your father paid for my grandson's inhaler when insurance wouldn't. He said kindness should travel in circles. Her voice trembles. Let the circle continue. See, I clasp her soap-wet hand. It will. Lying in the snow. I find Caleb on the veranda, coat collar flipped against the chill, staring at the rolling vineyards Dad planted the year I was born. The rising sun limbs frost-tipped vines in silver. He rubs his temple. Your mom says Dad asked for new counsel. That Riley and I signed as witnesses last August. Do you remember? I remember a lot of late nights. Documents cross my desk like snowflakes, signatures blur. He exhales a white plume. Elle, if I, helped them hurt you, I need to set it right. It wasn't you. I think of the vial. They used you as a pen. Caleb's hand seeks mine. Tell me what to do. First, detox. Second, testify in a real court, not Meredith's living room circus. He nods, resolve stiffening his spine. Then we'd better find a lawyer who works weekends. A crunch of footsteps behind us, Meredith, perfectly composed, holding a manila envelope. Elena, the sheriff's office delivered something for you. She hands it over with a smile I'd swear was rehearsed in front of a mirror. I tear the seal. Temporary protective order petitioner. Riley Dawson. Allegations, threats of violence. Mental instability. Possession of firearms. Court date 2 weeks. Riley must have filed it at dawn. A preemptive strike. Meredith pats my arm. Take some time off. Dear, perhaps a spa. Clear your head before things escalate. I fold the order, tuck it into my pocket beside Dad's hard drive. Escalation, I say softly, is what Marines do best. As Meredith glides back inside, Caleb mutters, "This is war, isn't it?" I scan the length of the vineyard, horizon blazing gold. They just fired the second shot. A notification pings on my phone, an anonymous text. No caller ID if you want proof of forgery. Meet behind the church at midnight. Come alone. A single attachment follows blurred still frame of Meredith and Klein exchanging cash. My thumb hovers over download as the screen fades to black. The church lot is an ocean of moon-washed snow when I coast the Jeep to a crawl. Dashboard clock. 11:54 p.m. 6 minutes until the anonymous whistleblower either changes my life or drags me into a deeper trap. The protective order tucked in my glove box feels like a live grenade. One wrong move and the courts can brand me unstable for good. Vlogcam. Whisper mode family forged a will, drugged my fiancé, and slapped me with a restraining order. Yet I'm the dangerous one. If you're watching, drop us emoji so I know my moral compass isn't the only thing missing tonight. I kill the light. Pocket the phone. My real compass, Dad's still hostage in Meredith's jewelry drawer. Without it, the world tilts by a fraction, just enough to test balance. The contact stone angels flank the back door of St. Bridget's. Their faces, eroded by decades of rain, look like they've witnessed every secret sin in Charlottesville. A silhouette breaks from the tree-lined slight, hoodie drawn high. I keep both hands visible. "You texted," I murmur. The figure steps into the security lamp's halo, Marco Ortiz. 15. Inhaler peeking from his coat. Mrs. Ortiz's grandson. His breath frosts in quick puffs. "Abuela said you'd trust me." He fishes a flash drive from his pocket. "She told me to give you this if things got bad." I scan the lot empty, but paranoia whispers that every shadow hides a Dawson spy. What's on it? Notarization logs. Klein bribed a mobile notary. Here's the payment records. Body cam screen cap. And a time-stamped video of your dad barely conscious while they moved his hand. Marco's voice trembles, but doesn't break. "Abuela said your father would want you to finish what he started." Gratitude stings my eyes. I reach for my wallet, but he shakes his head. "Grandpa served in Desert Storm. Said payback is its own paycheck." Before I can respond, twin headlights slice across the lot. Riley's white BMW. She guns the engine, slides to a stop, and steps out in designer boots far too thin for snow camera phone already rolling. "Well, look who's violating a court order," she sings. Marco shrinks behind me. I keep my hands down. Voice calm. "You tracked my phone." "I just happened to pray at midnight." She smirks, panning her camera. "Say hi to the internet. L. PTSD poster girl caught lurking around minors." "This isn't your fight, kid." I tell Marco in Spanish, "Run home." He hesitates, then bolts toward the woods. Riley makes a show of dialing 911. "Yes. Operator. My unstable sister just threatened me." Every muscle in my body screams to snatch the phone and hurl it into orbit. Instead, I hit record on my own cam. "Folks, You're seeing a masterclass in weaponizing the justice system. I narrate. Protective order says I can't contact Riley. Doesn't say she can't stalk me. Sirens wail in the distance too soon for cops. Must be campus security. I weigh the optics ex-Marine arrested at church versus tactical retreat. I choose retreat. Snow crunches behind me, Mason Brooks on his beat-up Yamaha. Helmet visor up. Need a lift, Captain. Cue the cavalry. I grin, vaulting onto the bike. Riley's curses Doppler into nothing as Mason punches the throttle and we roar into the night. A war room for the dispossessed. We stop at a 24-hour laundromat bathed in flickering neon, the kind of place anonymity rents by the quarter. Inside, industrial dryers rumble like distant artillery. Dana Finch, investigative reporter / truth addict, sits on a folding table, laptop open. She swivels when she sees us. You two made the trending tab. Hashtag #HackCrazyMarine just jumped 40,000 mentions, half trolls, half veterans defending you. Good, I say, breath still white. Let them watch the whole movie. I hand her Marco's flash drive. Mason stands guard by the door, scanning for tails. Dana plugs it in. Screens flood with thumbnails, invoices, notary seals, a shaky cell video of Dad slumped in bed. Meredith's voice coaxing him to put your nice steady signature right there. Sweetheart? My throat cinches. Dana's fingers blur over keys. Metadata checks. This could vaporize the forged will. Assuming we survive long enough to submit, I say. Counter-Strike in 4G. Dana uploads a redacted teaser to her Twitter. Within minutes. Retweets explode. She grins. Sunlight. Best disinfectant. Mason lights a stale coffee shop candle. Cheap cinnamon smell mixing with detergent. Proof's great. But they'll still paint you violent. He rumbles. We need civilian witnesses vouching for your character. I know a few Marines stateside. I say, problem is, court of public opinion already declared me guilty. Dana elbows me gently. Then let's give them a different headline. She cues her camera. In the hum of dryers, I tell a 2-minute story, 18-hour patrols. Children shielded from crossfire. The day I carried a wounded interpreter 5 clicks because medevac was grounded. The camera catches nothing heroic, just the tremor in my left hand when the memory hits. Dana uploads it raw. Twist of the night phone buzz. Unknown number again. Next proof costs blood. Check your fiancé. Then a photo Caleb at a drugstore pharmacy counter. Confused. Arm guided by a woman in a black coat. Meredith. Timestamp 10 minutes ago. My stomach free falls. They're moving Caleb. Mason's already shrugging into his jacket. 2 vehicles could track easier. I'll tail from distance. I'm coming, I insist. Dana grabs my elbow. You step 1 foot near him, and Riley screams restraining order violation. Let me go. I'm press. She can't muzzle me. Logic over ego. I nod once. Mason and Dana slip into the drizzle. Taillights fading. The laundromat feels suddenly cavernous. I edit a short clip for my channel. They're trying to disappear. Caleb, if anything happens. Receipts drop at sunrise. I schedule it for autopublish in 6 hours. Insurance policy. The compass appears. Spin cycle drum slows. Clangs to a stop. Inside, instead of linens, lies my compass north-finding needle steady. Chain coiled like a snake. I glance around. No one's entered. Beneath the compass, a scrap of stationary trade asset for silence. Noon tomorrow. Coordinates on back. M. Meredith broke into my Jeep. Or someone infiltrated the laundromat. The idea that she can step into any space I occupy feels like chemical warfare poison you can't see but breathe anyway. Social fault lines crack. While dryers cool, I scroll #crazy. Marine comments. Some vet named Old Corp 71 writes, "They love us in uniform. Hate us when we're home. Stand tall. Captain." A suburban mom replies, She's a danger to herself, and others take her guns. The feed is America arguing with itself. Meredith's strategy is clear. Paint me mentally unfit, so no court trusts my testimony. It's the oldest trick, discredit the witness, not the crime, and it feeds into national fears, unstable veteran, gun violence, family money. Headlines write themselves. I pocket the compass, muscles tense like a drawn bow, symbol reclaimed, but at a price tag I haven't read yet. Sirens, round 2 outside. I hear police radios, through fogged glass. Patrol cars box the parking lot. Protective order alarm triggered. Riley must have filed an addendum. Elena can't be within 100 yards of anyone named Dawson. Ridiculous, but legal gymnastics is their sport. No Mason, no Dana Good. Only me to arrest. I kill the laundromat lights. Duck behind washers. Bullhorn MS, Dawson. Come out with your hands visible. Adrenaline flashbacks, night raids, searchlights, dogs barking. My heartbeat sinks with the thud-thud of boots entering. I exhale slow. Show, don't tell. Dad's voice coaches, so I show them a calm combatant. I stand, palms up, recording for my safety. I announce, phone filming. 2 deputies approach, hands near tasers. One looks barely 20. Acne glints under fluorescence. You're under arrest for violating a protective order and suspected harassment of a minor. I have the entire interaction on video. I say, minor approached me. Tell it to the judge. The older deputy grunts, snapping cuffs cold around my wrists. Metal bites skin. I note timestamp verbally for the camera. As they lead me out, Hatcha Crazy Marine is about to get its juiciest clip, yet female vet perp walked past humming dryers. But when the door swings open, a news van skids curbside. Dana jumps out, mic in hand, broadcasting live. Officer, is this arrest retaliation for whistleblowing on a forged will? She shouts. Cameras swarm. Deputies freeze civil rights lawsuit, flashing neon in their minds. I lift cuffed wrists toward Dana's lens. Truth doesn't need free hands, I say, voice steel steady. The rookie deputy hesitates, looks to his partner. The senior sighs, keys jangling, and unlocks me. We'll file report later, he mumbles, retreating under a barrage of camera flashes. Dana winks. Never underestimate daylight. Her phone rings. She pales. Thrusts it to me. Mason's voice crackles over engine noise. Lost visual on the van. Caleb's phone pinged at an abandoned winery outside town. Then nothing. GPS dead. Looks like a trap, and I'm one man. Need orders. Captain. Cold rolls through me deeper than the cuffs. Meredith now holds 2 symbols, my fiancé and my family's vineyards land that should be mine. I face Dana's live stream camera. Pupils hard as flint. If you stand for justice, watch. Tomorrow we walk into enemy territory and drag the truth into the sun. And Mom, I pause, letting fury edge each syllable. Pray that compass still points north when I find you. Feed cuts on my promise, leaving the audience suspense-locked as flashing red-blue lights strobe across my determined face. Mason's engine growls under me as we weave through pre-dawn fog, the Yamaha's single headlight tunneling across frost-silvered vines. Dana follows in her news van, laptop balanced on the dash, always one eye on the feed. My phone vibrates every 30 seconds, veterans cheering. Trolls jeering, reporters begging exclusives, noise, all of it background hum to one simple objective extract. Caleb. Secure proof. Build the counterstrike. We crest the last hill. The Dawson family winery sprawls below rows of dormant vines. A stone tasting room, and the weathered barn where Dad taught me to shoot tin cans. Meredith never let me near the business side. Bad optics for donors. She said, now it's her bunker. 2 SUVs idle near the loading dock. Exhaust ghosts curling into lavender dawn. Security lights punch holes in the dark. Figures pace, one is Meredith. Silhouette rigid, phone glued to her ear. Another is Klein, the lawyer for hire, checking his watch like he's billing by the second. No sign of Caleb. My pulse sinks with the compass ticking against my ribs. Symbol reclaimed, heart refocused. Mason parks behind a hedgerow. Combat or recon? Recon first. Evidence beats bullets. I tap my earpiece. Dana, you rolling. Her voice fizzes. Livestream on standby. Don't get shot. FCC hates blood before breakfast. Before we breach. I dial Greta Lane, probate ninja. She answers on first ring. Caffeine already in her bloodstream. I've filed emergency motions, she says. But we need irrefutable proof. Dad's signature is forged, and Caleb was drugged under coercion. I'm staring at the smoking vineyard. I whisper, stay by the courthouse facts. You'll have proof in an hour. Facts were in 2025. Humor me. Counselor. Into the lioness's den. Mason and I flank the barn. Wooden slats leak bar light inside. The smell of diesel and fermenting skins mingles sweet rot. Through a knothole, I spot Caleb tied to a chair. Hat pulled low, head lolled. Meredith stands over him, wielding my compass like a hypnotist's pendulum. Sign the final transfer. Dear. She coos. Then all the nightmares stop. Caleb's voice, thick Elena, will come. Oh, sweetheart, Meredith laughs. Elena can't even come within 100 yards of you. Hairs on my neck bristle. Breaking the order in front of witnesses equals jail. But leaving him isn't an option. Mason whispers, 2 guards at the roll-up door. Non-professionals, judging by stances. I nod. Distraction. He grins, produces a small drone from his pack. Semper Fly. The drone whirs upward. LED strobes blinking marine code FYA for your awareness. It dives the guards, who swat like toddlers at bees. Mason slips in through the service entrance. I ghost the shadows toward the office annex. Inside, Klein argues with someone on speaker. Yes, Senator. The documents will be executed within the hour. Senator political backup Meredith's safety net. I record his words, then unplug the phone to kill the call. Klein spins, eyes wide behind frameless glasses. Ms. Dawson, restraining. I grip his collar, shove him against filing cabinets. Where's the notary receipt? I don't. You forged dead men's signatures for sport, I hiss, pressing the compass's cold rim against his cheek. Because this point's due justice. He cracks, hand shaking as he unlocks a drawer, producing a folder of bank transfers, the notary's confession letter, and high-definition photos of Dad doped on morphine. Exactly the chain of custody Greta needs. Copy secured. I zip-tie Klein to his own chair. Try to bill that by the hour. In the main floor. A guard finally smacks the drone down, but Mason's already behind him. Chokehold quick and silent. I cross to Caleb, cut plastic ties with a box cutter. He blinks. Lucidity flickering. Knew you'd find me. Got lost, I joke, lifting his chin, but North found me. The compass dangles between us. Meredith's voice slicing the moment, touching. Now step away, or I call the sheriff and have you shot for trespass. She aims a small revolver, Dad's antique. The weapon shakes, but her eyes burn steady. Caleb leaves with me, I say. Riley emerges from the shadows. Phone streaming live. World's watching. Sis. One twitch, and you prove you're violent. Hook inside hook, my downfall televised. I lift both palms. I'm not here to fight. Meredith sneers. Of course you are. You fought every chain of command. Every battlefield. It's all you know. No, I whisper, I know loyalty. That terrifies you. Barn doors creak. Mrs. Ortiz steps in. Marco at her side. Clutching the external hard drive Dad left me, only now it's connected to a rugged tablet looping video Caleb. Weeks ago. Coherent. Confessing. Riley drugged him. Plus, Dad's aborted attempt to update the will in my favor. Riley's live stream catches it all. Comment bubbles explode with "had-free Elena." Meredith's gun wavers. Where did you get? From the man who believed kindness goes in circles. Ortiz says, voice trembling but firm. Mason edges forward, eyes on the revolver. Drop it, ma'am. Don't make a Marine choose. I reach into my pocket. Withdraw the protective order paperwork. Hold it beside the video. Mother, you built this cage. Choose keep forging chains. Or let us dismantle them publicly. Sirens howl not just local cops, but media vans converging, air alive with rotor blades. Dana must be broadcasting coordinates. Meredith's shoulders sag. Revolver lowers. She looks small, aging years and seconds. Your father always loved your stubborn fire, she whispers, tears glassing her mascara. I just wanted to protect the family name. Family is more than a name, I say. She drops the gun. It clatters like a gavel. Mason kicks it aside. I hook the compass back around my neck. The needle slides true. For the first time in months, my breathing matches its steady pivot. Outside, reporters swarm. Caleb leans on my arm. Steady. Ortiz and Marco stand like quiet sentinels. Klein shouts legal threats from his rolling chair. I film a slow pan of the tableau, then address the camera. Justice isn't a straight line. It's a vine twisted, resilient, rooted in dirt. Today we start pruning the rot. Tomorrow we press the sweetest revenge into law. I hand Mason the folder of evidence. Get this to Greta. Fax, email, Pony Express. He salutes. Hoorah! Flashing lights paint the barn doors red and blue. Deputies rush in, weapons drawn, unsure who's villain, who's victim. The world watches, verdict unrendered. As cuffs click on Klein and Meredith, Riley dives toward me. Phone outstretched. You think you've won, internet loves a fall from grace. Elena, they'll turn on you next. I lean to her mic. Then they'll watch me rise again. Caleb squeezes my fingers. Sun breaches the horizon, setting frost ablaze. My phone buzzes text from Greta Judge. Granted emergency injunction. Hearing set 48 hours. Be prepared. Meredith's political allies filing motion to declare you mentally incompetent. I show the message to the live camera. Looks like the next battle's in court. And I've got 48 hours to prove sanity in a world gone mad. Strap in. Subscribers, Part 5 goes full courtroom combat. Screen cuts on the siren's crescendo, leaving viewers clinging to the needle swing of my compass and the ticking clock of a 2-day deadline. A red-eyed dawn creams over Fairfax County Circuit Court as Greta slides a banker's box onto the war room table, her firm's break room. Commandeered for the next 48 hours. Paper towers lean like frontline sandbags, medical records. Chain of custody logs. Notary ledgers. My compass ticks at the box's edge. The needle, a restless metronome, lands when Dana bursts in, waving her phone. Meredith's PAC just bought ad space across local radio. Unstable veteran threatens philanthropic family. They're painting you as the next tragic headline. I flick open the compass lid. North settles. Then we pivot, make veteran voices louder than smear money. Mason cues up a roster. 50 Marines within a day's drive. Some can testify to your leadership. Greta nods. Character witnesses. Mental health affidavits. And the notary's confession. We stitch it tight. But we still need one lethal exhibit proof Meredith bribed a sitting senator. Enter Alan Kwan, rookie congressman whose town hall question about veteran benefits went viral after Dana's upload. He texts, I can get you inside the senator's satellite office tonight. But one misstep and my career's ash. Risk accepted. Night drapes Leesburg's colonial brick, as Alan swipes us past Security U. Mason. Dana concealed as document couriers. The hall smells of lemon polish and ambition. In the senator's private suite, Dana plants a fiber-optic cam beneath a credenza. Heartbeats later, Senator Atwood strides in, followed by Klein still out on bail and Meredith. Coat the color of dry blood. They discuss containing that marine issue and wiring another $50,000 to the notary's silent account. The lens drinks it all. Twist bursts when Meredith pulls from her purse the protective order stamped motion to extend. Citing violent incident at winery. She's doubling down tomorrow. We ghost out undetected. Adrenaline bitter on tongues. The compass needle stills during exfil. Its loyalty is the only constant. Proof in hand. But Greta worries opposing counsel will trigger the PTSD landmine. So I drive to Quantico's floodlit parade deck. Meet Major Ruiz, my former CO. Sweat ghosts under the winter stars as I ask him to certify that my evaluations read combat effective, emotionally resilient. He studies me like a drill instructor weighs intent. Paper won't save you in there. Captain, he says quietly. Own the scars before they weaponize them. I nod, throat tightened by memory mortars. Dust, the interpreter dying in my arms. I kneel on the tarmac. Let the ache wash through. When I rise, the compass feels lighter, as if accepting confession. Fairfax courtroom oak gleams under LED panels. Press pool packed wall to wall. Hashtag banners crawl CNN Chiron, #Crazy Marine, versus #Combat for Truth. Judge Harris enters, silver hair and searing eyes. This hearing will establish validity of Richard Dawson's 2018 will and consider motions regarding Miss Elena Dawson's competence. Opposing counsel slick, smirking. Miss Downs calls first witness licensed psychiatrist who's never met me. Opines via Zoom that combat veterans show heightened volatility. The gallery murmurs, Batcong delivered. Greta counters with Major Ruiz's sworn statements and VA psychologist Dr. Patel. Who has treated me for 2 years, Captain Dawson demonstrates grounding techniques superior to 90% of my patients. I inhale oak, old books, faint perfume of privilege, and keep eyes on the compass glowing in my palm. Symbol cutting through stigma. Dana cues the secret office video. Screen drops. Jury yes. Probate uses a civil jury here leans forward as Senator Atwood's face fills frame. Meredith. Once the Marine is ruled incompetent, probate's a rubber stamp. Make the donation tomorrow. Gasps. Reporters scribble feverishly. Downs objects irrelevant. Prejudicial, but Judge Harris waves her down. Then Greta produces the notary's affidavit, Klein's bank transfers, and Marco's time-stamped footage. Each exhibit clicks into place like rounds chambered. When Riley takes the stand in cream-white blazer, she deploys crocodile tears. Elena threatened to burn the house down. She sobs. Greta stands. Did you record that threat? Riley sniffles. No. She's clever. Were you clever when you poured lorazepam into Caleb's drink? Greta presses play on the parlor CCTV. Gasps swell again. Riley's mask slips, eyes flat as pond ice. She pivots. Fine. Caleb wanted it. He begged to relax. Caleb. In gallery. Rises. Objection. Your Honor. She's lying. His voice clear. Stance steady. Allies anchor. Hours later. Arguments rest. Judge Harris recesses for lunch, jury out. Hallway becomes media pit. I film quick update. If you're rooting for truth, drop a compass emoji. North still holds. Emojis flood chat. Court resumes. But before closings, U.S. Marshals stride in. Hand Meredith an indictment warrant, federal bribery. Obstruction. Alan Kwan stands at rear, unblinking. Meredith's pearl necklace snaps as cuff steel clicks. Her gaze spears me. Half hate, half plea. Twist, she's no longer opposing party. She's criminal defendant. Greta's summation is quiet artillery. Love of family can't survive inside a lie. Captain Dawson didn't come home to fight, she came home to heal. The defendants turned that wound into a weapon. Bring it back under the law. Downs mutters technicalities. But momentum's title. Bailiff collects phones, jury files out, compass needle steady. I breathe through a tremor. Caleb squeezes my shoulder. Ortiz clasps rosary. Cameras wait like wolves. The judge's clerk appears. Eyes unreadable. Verdict ready. Doors swing. Jury foreman carries a sealed envelope. Heartbeats sync with compass ticks north. Tick, north. We, the jury, find the document dated August 12, 2023 to be fraudulent and therefore void. We affirm the 2018 will as the lawful testament of Richard Dawson. A second sheet slides free. We find no credible evidence that Captain Elena Dawson is mentally incompetent. Sound returns in a title rush, reporters exhale. Cameras click. Marines in the back row slap shoulders in silent hurrahs. I don't cheer. I just breathe. Tasting gunpowder metal adrenaline dissolve into something sweeter. Judge Harris's gavel lands. Probate restored. Protective order dissolved. Court adjourned. Opposing counsel folds like bad origami. Riley bolts for the exit, but marshals flank her handcuffs glint. Irony to match her diamond earrings. She spits my name like shrapnel. I answer with a nod. Not triumph acknowledgement of collateral damage. Meredith, wrists chained, addresses me over her shoulder. You killed the Dawson legacy. No, I say softly. You tried to. Marshals guide her through a gauntlet of flashbulbs. Outside. Protest signs split. Support our vets versus family first. America arguing with itself again. Greta thrusts ownership papers into my hands. You're officially executor. Vineyard, manor, the whole nest. Dana snaps thumbnails for the channel title cards, already dancing behind her eyes. Mason clasps my forearm in the Marine handshake. Mission complete, phase 1. I answer. Truth won, but healing's another war. Caleb approaches. Free of sedation for once. Estate's yours. But what about us? His question sits between us like unexploded ordnance. I think of the wine-dark night he was drugged, of letters he wrote in sandstorms. My pulse flutters in its cage. Let's survive the press conference first. We step onto courthouse steps. Microphones bloom. Sunlight slices clouds, scattering gold dust on marble. I lift the compass for camera's symbol retrieved. Storybook obvious, but the needle jerks south. Odd. A glitch or omen. Cheer swells. But one reporter shouts, Captain, sources say a second trust surfaces funds hidden offshore. Comment, second trust. Greta frowns. She knows nothing. Twist detonates quietly in my ribs. Back inside, we pore over new filings. An anonymous leak scans of a Cayman account opened years ago in Dad's and Meredith's joint names. Beneficiary line left blank, until last week. Amended to Riley Dawson or issue. If probate failed. They had Plan B. Greta's eyes blaze. Offshore concealment violates federal tax law. We nail them deeper. But a chill whispers how many layers of betrayal remain Dad. 2. Kept secrets. Night settles. I wander vineyard rows. Dead vines creaking in winter wind. I carry 2 objects compass in one palm. A rusted wine key I found in Dad's desk. His first harvest tool. One points outward. The other digs cork from buried flavor. Navigation versus cultivation. Which legacy is mine? Ortiz joins me. Wrapped in knit shawl. Your father wanted you to prune hard. Then plant again. She presses a leather satchel into my hands. Blueprints. He planned a scholarship center for migrant farm workers. Another shockwave, Dad's hidden benevolence matched his hidden accounts. People are tapestries, not spreadsheets. Hashtag Hatch Combat for Truth eclipses Hatch Crazy. Marine by breakfast. Veterans post compasses. Teens remix sound bites. Talk shows debate generational wealth and PTSD stigma. I skim comments. She fought overseas and at home, hero twice over. Then another rich girl still wins. What's new? Truth is never unanimous. Caleb finds me on the manor porch. Moonlight cold. You look 1,000 miles away. Maybe I am. I tilt the compass. Needle stays south. Metal near foundation nails. Or am I the magnet skewing it? He touches the chain. North's constant. We're the ones spinning. I study his face earnest. Bruised by betrayal, not of his making. Do we rebuild or cut loose? My heart answers in Morse ... But the meaning isn't clear. 11:30. Estate silent, except for baseboard creaks. I sort Dad's ledgers when headlights rake the study. Mason's bike. No black town car decelerates. Doorbell. I tuck pistol in waistband marine. Reflex descend stairs. Through glass, I recognize Senator Atwood. Tie missing, sweat beading. He steps inside, uninvited. You have something that can bury me, he says. Name your price. Power stench thick as corked wine. I glance at Ortiz's scholarship satchel. At Compass, still misreading. Money could fund Dad's dream overnight, or corrupt it before roots form. Atwood produces an envelope. Edges crimson from his grip. $2 million. Offshore. Tonight. The compass needle wobbles between directions. Caught in magnetic storm of temptation. Livestream phone in one hand. Envelope in the other. I face Atwood. To my audience. Voice steady. What would you do? Take hush money to fund a noble cause, or hold the line and risk losing everything in court costs and smear campaigns. Chat erupts angel emojis, devil emojis, moral compasses spinning. Atwood's pulse drums visible at his throat. My decision will either plant vineyards of hope or salt the earth forever. Screen fades on my thumb, hovering over Go Live. Compass needle jittering between salvation and surrender. ChatGPT deny. The tension in the study is thick enough to cut with a knife. But my hand is steady as I hold the phone in front of Atwood. The town car's headlights glare through the windows like an accusing eye. And I can feel my heart beat in sync with the compass at my neck, the only thing in this room that hasn't failed me yet. Atwood leans forward, his voice low, almost pleading. $2 million, enough to make all of this go away. I can't be destroyed. Elena, I have connections. I'll bury you if you don't play ball. He watches me, his dark eyes assessing, calculating. This is it, the moment I choose who I am and who I want to be. My finger hovers over the phone's Go Live button. I glance at the envelope he handed me, the weight of it pulling me in 1,000 directions. The idea of silencing this entire nightmare with one stroke of paper. But then, I feel it, the familiar, unshakable weight of my father's legacy. The compass sways slightly against my skin, as if reminding me of the path I promised I would follow. True north. I've already lost so much, my father. Caleb's trust, my own peace of mind. But I won't let money be the final blow. Not after everything. I exhale and pull my finger away from the screen. No deal, I say, my voice firmer than I feel. I don't need your money to make this go away. What I need is the truth. Atwood's face tightens. He leans back, shoving the envelope into his coat pocket, his fingers curling around it like it's a lifeline. You'll regret this. Elena, I gave you a way out, and now you're going to fight a losing battle. I meet his gaze steady, unflinching. Maybe I will, but I'll fight it on my terms, not yours. Atwood stands abruptly, knocking his chair back with a loud scrape. He straightens his jacket and turns toward the door, his footsteps echoing like a countdown in the quiet room. I hold my breath, waiting for him to leave. I feel every inch of the air pressing down on me. But I don't move. I don't flinch. Just as his hand is about to grip the door handle, he stops. His voice is a cold whisper, laced with something like venom. You'll be sorry. You're not ready for what's coming. No one is. And then he's gone, leaving the door swinging behind him, and me standing in the silence of a battle half won. The truth comes crashing in. I barely register the weight of the envelope in my hand as I turn to face the camera. The live stream's still running.
So here we are, I say, my voice steady but raw. I just turned down $2 million to let this go. Why? Because sometimes the truth is worth more than any bribe. Because no matter how many rich men you have on your side, the truth will always find its way out. And when it does, it has a way of making everything you've built crumble, piece by piece.
I stare at the camera, watching as the chat floods with messages, some of them supportive, others angry, calling me reckless, naive, even crazy. But I don't care, not anymore. What's coming next? I continue. What happens when you've already fought through the hardest battles of your life, and the enemy still finds ways to strike at you? Well, I'm about to find out. You'll all find out with me. I drop the envelope onto the desk, the weight of it suddenly unbearable. The truth is out there, I know that much. But the question now is, how far will it go to destroy everything I have left? The phone vibrates in my hand, and I glance down to see an incoming text from Greta.
Elena, you need to see this. It's official, the senator just filed for a retrial based on new evidence. They're coming for you. We need to prepare.
I blink, my stomach lurching. A retrial Atwood isn't finished. He's circling back, doubling down on his power play. He knows exactly how much influence he has, and I just gave him the green light to escalate everything. I've made a dangerous enemy, but I can't back down now. I won't. Preparing for the final blow. Dana, who's been silent in the corner, finally speaks. This isn't over. Elena, we're up against a machine, but you've already done the hardest part. You've put it all out there. Now we fight with everything we've got. I nod slowly. Yeah, now we fight. We start laying out our next steps, preparing for the next round of this battle. Greta already has a team of lawyers ready, and we're digging through the last of the hidden accounts. The evidence is still stacking up against Atwood and Meredith, and now it's my turn to turn their own weapons back on them. I pick up the compass again, watching the needle settle into place. This ends with me on top. Or it doesn't end at all. As I finish talking to Dana and Mason, my phone buzzes again, this time with a call from an unknown number. I pick it up, wariness crawling up my spine.
Elena, the voice says, low and gravelly, you're not the only one with a stake in this fight. Be careful who you trust. There's someone inside your camp you don't know about.
I freeze, the phone growing heavier in my hand. What do you mean? Your lawyer, the voice says, the words almost a hiss. Greta Lane. She's not who she says she is. My blood runs cold. The room spins. Who are you? I whisper, my hand gripping the edge of the desk for balance. The needle on my compass jerks again, wildly spinning in my palm. I'm someone who's been watching you, and you've got more enemies than you think. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone in disbelief. The walls are closing in on me. People I trusted, allies I thought were loyal, are turning against me. And now I don't know who I can count on. Greta Lane, the woman who's been my rock, might just be part of the conspiracy after all. The screen cuts to black as I stare at the blinking cursor on my phone, trapped in a maze of lies. My voice cracks out of the silence. Who's betraying me now?